Oh, that cracks me up. Installs in minutes with just a screwdriver. When's the last time anything ever went as planned? Yeah, I've got my whole nail bag on because I'm making the assumption this is going to take me a few minutes to get this all figured out. And see this thing here? If you don't have any cutters for that, do you know there's an easy way to pull one of these apart? If you just take that right there and pull on it, sometimes you can get it and peel off. But see, other times it's strong. I could probably peel this off if I wanted to, but a lot of times you can flip it upside down or backwards, upside down, and grab it from underneath. Now this one is glued all the way. Lots of times there's a little gap there, and if there is, you can just grab that. But this I got it peeled just far enough, and look at that. There's no way you could do that without cutting it off. And usually I'll take my tin snips and cut it, you know. But I don't like doing it with what you call it, with the sheetrock knife. It always gets messed up, and I'm gonna take a look at this here in a minute. I'm trying to, I don't know, things got kind of messed up in my nail bag here. Like, did somebody use my nail bag? I shouldn't be on this counter either, because this is a brand new spanking countertop. And I got that on my video on one of the other episodes on how to install this. I actually show a couple videos of the actual countertop installers installing that. There's no way I would want to do something like this. This is a quartz counter. It was pretty awesome watching them install this. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to set this down here, I guess, and pull it apart, grab my knee pad, and I shouldn't be doing that on the countertop, should I? I'll just kind of do it right here, I guess. Come on, look at that. Thought I would be slick pulling that. I want to be as careful with this box as I can, just in case something goes wrong and it doesn't get installed properly and we decide to take it back. I don't think we're taking it back. Momi would have nothing of the sort, but every once in a while you get something and then you put it in and you're not happy with it. If you still have the box, you can pack it all up and return it more easily with the container that you got it in. Okay, let's just I'm just gonna kind of pull this stuff out, and then I'll have to look at the directions and stuff. You know, don't think you're gonna put it in without reading the directions and all that kind of stuff. I always kind of like to do that, even if I know what I think I should be doing with it. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this all apart. I'm gonna kind of peruse the directions and stuff. And you know, if it has a warranty or anything like that, you might want to keep these things with you, even if you decide to keep it. And if you end up throwing the box away, let's say, at least keep all of this other stuff in case you ever have a problem with it. There's probably an 800 number hotline where you could call and say, hey, I'm having problems with such and such. How do I reset this? I don't have my directions. I threw them away, and I thought I was going to be able to remember how to reset the code and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so keep those things. I always try to keep the directions and stuff like that whenever I install something, even like light fixtures, ceiling fans, and all that kind of stuff. It would do you good not to throw that stuff away. Okay, I've been reading about this and I found a few interesting things. Now here's the latch. Remember I said most are either 2 3/8 or 2 3/4. And this one, the latch is adjustable. You just twist this out. You see this little slide on there? All the way like that is 2 3/8 back set. And then if you twist it like that, see how it goes in and out? Now it's 2 3/4 back set. And of course you look at this and there's an up on there. So you know which way it goes and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of slick. Now on the side of your door, if it's notched in, this will fit right in. If you have a door that's just a round hole, lots of times companies will give you a latch where you can pull this front off and then snap another type on. Well, this one they don't do that. That kind of irked me a little bit. If you have a round hole on the side without this notch, you're going to have to notch your door edge in all the way around on the edge of your door. And I'm pretty sure I don't have to do that on mine. I'll have to take a look at it here, because it says if you want the round one, you have to purchase the one with the round knob, the round in on the face plate, and you can purchase those at the store. Well, it didn't. It should have said that on the box. Well, it doesn't. And it also, of course, it comes. Well, it makes it for AA batteries, and I thought it would come with some batteries. And see, no batteries in the box at all. It should say that on the outside of the box. Lots of times it'll give you batteries, but just as well, because lots of times if you get a lock that have batteries in there, chances are those batteries are not going to last you very long, depending on how long the lock has been sitting on a shelf or something like that. So, okay, whatever. And then I was reading, and this was a separate little thing that came in a separate bag with this other little goodie. See here? And it says smart key on it. See? Right there, smart key. I'm like, what the heck is that? And what I can gather is it comes with a couple keys. Okay, so it's already keyed, but if you ever wanted to rekey this, let's say you give these keys out to someone and then you think, oh, I need to change the lock. Do you have to call a locksmith? No, apparently not. As long as you have a key that is compatible with this, and that will go in the front of your lock. As long as it'll fit in there, okay, all the way in, you know it's compatible. And then there's directions on here that shows what all you have to do to rekey it, to put your new key in, and it gives you all the directions all the way through to get it rekeyed with a different key that you have. Isn't that kind of cool? I never could imagine they could do something like that. So my advice to you is make some extra keys off, okay? Get a few extra keys so that you have one saved in a place where, you know, God forbid, if you lose all of your keys, your 2 keys, you hand one key out to someone, or you've got someone renting your place out and you give them the keys, and you don't have an extra key and they lose your keys or something, or you want to rekey things because they say, oh, we don't have our key. Well, you don't know if they've made new keys for somebody else or whatever. You want to take that other key and then take it to the store and make sure you get something that's the same keyway and everything, and then slip it in there and rekey it on your own. Okay? So, a few things I've seen so far, and I'm gonna read a little bit more about it and get ready. What's my next step? I think, well, I've got to make sure I've got AA batteries here. I need 4 AA batteries, and I'm pretty sure I do. Worst case scenario, if I don't have any, that's something that after the whole thing gets installed, I can I can remove the face cover and then pull that tray out and do that later. It's not going to stop me from installing this. Okay, and here's something else I'm seeing too. Let's take a look at this. Here's a different strike plate for the side of the door. Okay, I'm going to have to look at the strike plate on mine and see, most of the time on a strike plate you only have one screw here, one screw up there. Well, they've got 4 screws, and you're like, what the deal? What's the deal with this? Well, if you put this on right, you're going to get it over far enough to where these 2 screws here are going to be really super long screws that you can pre-drill the holes and stuff and go right into the stud on the side, and instead of going into the sheetrock. If there were only 2 screws here, you'd have a small little screws, and it's like your lock is only as strong as your deadbolt latch plate, your strike plate. Okay, so I'm going to have to take a look at that. I may have to replace that if my strike plate. In fact, let's look on here. Let's look on this door here real quick. Let's see if the strike plate on this existing door is the same size. I got to be careful here too, because we got this cat that comes around and he may start wandering into the house. One of the local cats that runs around. Now see this? Look at that. It's actually, it'll fit if I mortise it out. Remember they said all you need is a little screwdriver, a quick, easy replacement? Well, this is something I can do later, or I can do it now. But see, these 2 screws here are probably short screws that only go into the door jamb. Even if they were long enough, usually the first ½ inch is sheetrock, and this would barely be hitting the edge. You'd have to put these in at an angle to hit the 2x6 that's behind here, or the 2x4 that's behind here. See what I mean? So when you put this in, you can have your 2 smaller screws over here, and then your longer screws where this area here is, and they make this a little bit bigger because these screw heads are going to be bigger, and they give me those screws with it, and then I can notch this out, pre-drill some holes in there, put some long screws in here, hold into the door jamb and into the stud behind there, because if somebody ever wanted to kick this door in, your door is only as strong as these 2 little screws. And if these 2 screws just go into the 3/4 inch door jamb, let's say, right in here, all it has to do is this little section here cracks off, splits off this way, and they're in the house. Even the bottom one, see these, if I undid these 2 screws for the door latch for this door, those are small too. So see, even though this is a nice door, even though we got a nice deadbolt here, that it's only as secure as this area here. These 2 screws are probably just little short stubbies, and so if somebody kicked this thing would split from here down to about there, and it would just push in. And granted, it would hold a little bit with this. You kick it hard enough, and then this is just going to bow out too, and this is going to break, and in they come. Well, if you've got a strike plate like this, that's not going to happen, is it? You see what I mean? Those 2 long screws are going to go in there, go into your 2x4, your 2x6. That's something I'll do too, and you know, that's going to end up being part of this project as well. If you don't want to install that right now, you can do this later, and I've got to find my my chisel. I've got like the smallest chisel I have, I think, is a ½ inch, so it's going to be really hard to make these little curved here. Usually I'll have like a 1/4 inch wide chisel, or maybe even a 3/8 to get these curves. So before I put this in, I may decide to do that later, after I go to the store and get a smaller chisel. All right. I think my next step, what is my next step, by the way? Yes. Take this deadbolt out of here. That's going to be easy. You can do this job. Hey, I've never installed one of these electronic front door deadbolts, and if I can do it, you can do it.